Hello guys! So today I have kind of a special video, not really, but it's the intimidating TBR tag, and I've never done a tag, so that's very exciting, but it will also be very intimidating because I have so many books on my TBR that some books that I won't even mention here, and it's just so horrible because I haven't read anything, I feel like. And let's jump right into the tag! Yeah! So the first question is, what book have you been unable to finish? And when I saw this question, I immediately knew the answer, and that is Love, Rosie by Cecilia Ahern. I've had this book for so long. I even read up 200 pages of it, but it's just quite long, and I think it could if it had like 300 pages, if she just cut off some of it, it would be much better and it would be absolutely great. Because I watched the movie and I love Sam and Lily, so I absolutely loved the movie, but this is oh, this is just, oh my god. In the movie you're telling yourself seriously, everything keeps going to hell, and it just, when you think it can't get any worse, it does get worse, but in this book, it's that happens so much more, because, you know, she has 500 pages to, keep doing shit that just keeps them from being together, and it's just torture, and it's not that it's boring, it's that it's just not as good as it could be if it was a little shorter. Second question, what book have you yet to read? You just haven't had the time. This one I chose Unhinged and Ensnared by A.G. Howard, which are the sequels to Splintered, and I absolutely loved that. And it was just great, and I borrowed it from my best friend 2 weeks ago, and I'm super excited to read it, but I haven't had the time, so. Next question, what book have you yet to read? Because it's a sequel. Again, Me and After You, because this is not really a sequel. It's it's just Wonder, but just from the point of view of the other characters. I thought it would be just really interesting I think this would be really interesting to read, but I don't know, I just haven't really been in the mood for it, or I don't know. And when it comes to After You, after I watched Me Before You, the movie, for the second time, I was like, I have to read After You, because even though I know just everyone has mixed opinions about this, because it's a sequel to Me Before You, and everyone says that you can't just write a sequel to that, because just it's not a book for a sequel. Yeah, I kind of I get it, but for me, I just really want to read it because I love Lou, and I just thought it would be interesting to see what happens with her, how she deals with the situation. I was really in the mood to read it, but I just have so many books that I haven't read it yet, so yeah. Next question, what book have you yet to read? Because it's brand new. I wasn't sure if this question was it's brand new, it just came out, or it's brand new on my bookshelf, but I think it's meant to be it's brand new on my bookshelf, and that is Every Day by David Levithan. And I'm super excited to read this book, but I've just had it for a week or two, and I gotta read some of the books that I've had a little longer, and yeah, whatever. I haven't read it yet, but it's not intimidating. It's actually really exciting because I'm really looking forward to it, but just later. Maybe in a week or two, yeah, but definitely suggest you pick this up because it looks absolutely awesome, and I love David Levithan's writing, and it's a really extraordinary idea. It's about a guy who wakes up in a different body every day, and he has a different life every single day, and he's apparently gonna fall in love with a girl, but he will still keep changing the bodies, and he doesn't know how it happened, it just did, and it's always been like that. So it just looks super interesting, and I'm really looking forward to the way it's gonna end, even though I haven't even started it, because I'm just really curious, and it just looks awesome, yeah. Next question is, what book have you yet to read? Because I read a book by the same author and didn't enjoy it. Now, I wasn't sure about this because it's not necessarily I didn't enjoy Love, Rosie, like I said, but it's the only book that was the best for this question. So it's The Time of My Life by Cecilia Ahern, who wrote Love, Rosie, and this was a complete cover buy, so I could use it for another question in this tag, but I thought it was great for this question, and so yeah, like I said, Love, Rosie, not that I didn't enjoy it, but just I'm not really in the mood for this one, because it's also quite long, because contemporary romance is normally 300 pages, but when it's longer than that, it's just I hope it's gonna be good, but I think this could be good. It sounds pretty interesting, but yeah, I'm just not really in the mood right now. Next question. What book have you yet to read? Because you're just not in the mood for it. For that, I decided to choose Red Queen because, well, it's like a fantasy and it sounds really interesting, but I actually told myself I'm not going to read much fantasy during the holidays. I'm going to read contemporary romance because there are a lot of contemporary romance books that I have and I should read them, and yeah. But the only books I've read so far during the summer holidays were actually fantasy, or at least not contemporary romance, so it's kind of funny. But anyway, this book is a fantasy that I am not in the mood to read, so Red Queen, not now, not now. I'm probably gonna read it in like winter, maybe fall, but now I'm really not in the mood. Next question, what book have you yet to read? Because it's humongous, and I don't really have a humongous book. What is kind of humongous for me is Akima by Sarah J. Maas, A Court of Mist and Fury, but I already read that, so yeah. And it has a little over 600 pages, which is not really that much, you know. But for me it's quite long because I'm just used to reading contemporary romance the most, so 300 pages is like the ideal length of a book for me. So then of course when it's just as good as Akima, I would read like 2,000 pages of that, but whatever. So I don't really have a humongous book, but what I chose is The Book Thief, which has like 500 pages, something like that. And the problem with this one isn't just that it's like quite long, for me at least, but it's also really, I think it's gonna be really difficult to read because it's just like, you know, war and everything, and I'm just like, in summer I'm definitely not in the mood for this. Like some fantasy, okay, but The Book Thief, no. I think I'm gonna read this again in like fall or winter or something, but now, no. Next question is, what book have you yet to read? Because it was a cover buy and it got pretty bad reviews. Now I wasn't sure about this one, but I chose Shatter Me by Tbr Tag. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce her name at all. But I don't have the slightest clue why I bought this book. I think it wasn't cover buy because it's not that I wouldn't like the cover, it's just that it's nothing like, oh my god, that's so beautiful, I gotta buy it, you know? But I didn't have the slightest clue why I bought it, but just I actually thought it was fantasy and it's a dystopian novel, and I'm not really into dystopian novels, so that kind of like, you know, got me a little, I don't really want to read it much. But again, I'm not sure if I'm going to read it this summer, but in fall, winter, maybe next year, I don't really know. I want to read it because just like the reviews where everyone said like you either love it or hate it, and it has like 4 stars on Goodreads, so it's pretty good. But I think I'm not gonna be in the hated category. It's just right now I read a couple of pages of it and I'm just not in the mood completely. And the last question is, what book have you yet to read? Because it's the most intimidating book in your TBR pile. And this was like every single book I have on my bookshelf is intimidating, pretty much. And I chose Endless Love by Scott Spencer for this one, and by the way, like looking at this, you will definitely not tell that it's Endless Love because it's in Czech and I took off the paper thing that was on it, so it's not like the original cover. But anyway, yeah, I chose Endless Love because this is quite an intimidating book on my TBR, so I thought it would be great for this question, and I had it for so long and I watched the movie, kind of liked it, but nothing special, so I'm just like, I want to read it one day, but I don't know when, because like right now I'm absolutely not feeling like it, so yeah. That will be it, I guess, because I answered all the questions. So I hope you liked it. It was the first tag I ever did. So I just hope you like this video. See you in the next one and have a beautiful day. Bye!